And people wonder why I tell dudes to avoid therapy like the plague. And people wonder why. Look at the caption. Therapist says that the number one indicator for how children grow up to thrive does not come from a two-parent home, but rather the quality of their mother's happiness and mental health. So I'm just going to, because I haven't watched the video yet, but I'm going to assume basically we have to do everything to make mommy happy. And that's the only way that we produce quality kids out there. So let's take a listen to her thesis, her hypothesis, her theory of life.
Do you guys know the number one outcome or the number one indicator for how children grow up to thrive, whether or not they actually do?
I thought it was the daddy in the house.
Absolutely not.
What's
Believe
that?
it or not, it is the quality of their mother's happiness.
Wow.
Damn.
The quality of their mother's happiness is the number one indicator as to whether or not a child will grow up to thrive. Because if you have a depressed mother, if you have an anxious mother, if you have a mother with post-traumatic stress disorder who is having to disconnect from her own body, she cannot show up to nurture you. She cannot show up to support you. She cannot fully step into that space. And what she will teach you about being in relationships with other people, whether you can trust them, whether you can trust yourself, whether you can actually be committed and connected to somebody and know that they will reciprocate that to you in a healthy way. She teaches you that not through her words, but through her actions. And so what I will say to you, sis, is that you have to decide for yourself how you want your children not to just grow up in your house, but to grow up in this world, because you are teaching them that right now through how you are living your life and showing them how life is supposed to be in this roof with this man. Do you guys know the number one
We're screwed, guys. We're screwed. We're screwed. We are screwed, man. We are screwed. We are screwed. We are screwed. Anyways, what about a father's happiness? Does that not, does that not matter? Also, I'm pretty sure there's studies to show that a father's happiness and his mental health, right? But no. Just it don't even. So, like I said, you got remember, we have a whole community to show a certain demographic. I'm not going to say no names to show what happens when you have mothers that choose fun and their happiness over family. We already have a whole community to show you what happens. We already have, we already have a voting populace that's showing you what happens when you're choosing somebody that makes you feel good over somebody that's actually doing the job well. You know what I mean? Clearly what she's saying is toxic. You know what I mean? I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. I will say this though. Right? Because most women will tell you, "Oh, we're happier without a man." All right. We'll take your word for it. We already have a community to show you the chaos that will happen when it's just kids being raised by hyenas, but and then and then you got these same ladies complaining about these dudes being so quote unquote feminine. And I'm like, damn, I wonder why. She's saying over a two-parent home, it's rather, oh no, it's the mom's got to be happy. So this is the problem with this right here. This is why this is a problem. Because there are studies that show you it's for a better life for your kids. The kids got to come from a two-parent home. It's either a two-parent household, meaning mom, dad. It's either that or just a single father. But the studies have shown that single fathers have actually raised better kids, more successful kids than kids in a two-parent household. So really, the two winning formulas, meaning the two actual winning formulas, is actually just a single father first. Now, the single father data, it's not that big of a sample size. That's the only thing you can put against the data to say it's not true. Not necessarily that it's not true, that the sample size of single fathers and their kids it's not big enough data to show. It's not big enough data to show the success rate. But the success rate is scary compared to two parents home. So let's keep things nice. The winning formula is single fathers or two parent households. Single mothers primarily raise the worst kids. So let's not deviate from, oh, the mom has to be happy. If the mom is not happy, then nobody's happy. I mean, if we're doing, if we can't do this, guys, we cannot do this. And I be seeing these ninjas though. What's it? Hardly initiated. I be seeing these. They be having Dr. Umar Johnson on here. They be having all these scam artists come up on their show. They be having all these scam artists coming up on their show, talking about mental health, this spirituality, this my black, this. They be having these scam artists come up on their show. This crew, and when they say, and when somebody, oh my god, why don't they call these scam artists up? Why don't they call these scam artists out? But let's see some of these comments. Somebody said two parents household is not always healthy, uplifting, or positive. What people got to understand is there's no foolproof way to live, right? But when you look at the statistics, when you look at society and the history of society in general, when you look at the most successful time in America, right? When you look at the world, products from intact families usually compared to everybody else do better than them. So when you looking at when you look at Johnny Manziel, right? When anybody that looked at the Johnny Manziel interview, right, with Shannon Sharp, people the normies, right, the liberals would mistakenly credit Johnny Manziel still being alive or still being rich or still being successful in life. They would attribute that to white privilege mistakenly. And no, when he was talking about his life, it's clear to me what was his success was his intact family, because his parents were together. They were on the same page. You know what I'm saying? When you look at a lot of these artists and they always talk about how like my mental health or my life went downhill when my parents split apart or because my mom was doing it by themselves. It's always the same thing, but people can never pick up on these things because people don't really care about kids. So we have a woman here saying, I am a licensed psychotherapist, and beloved, this is very false. She might be a counselor or a life coach. Yeah, she's probably leaning on the life coach thing, and with that lace front sheet. Let me not be disrespectful. Let me not disrespectful. So somebody said children thrive in healthy households, period. She go women's health is a priority. So you got a lot of female or just women in that field of psychotherapy, the psychology field, basically going around scamming people, and where they're going to cater their solution around, okay, if the woman's not happy, then you're wrong. And if that's the basis that we're going on, we're literally it's like a dog chasing, bruh. It's like you're chasing something that does not exist. Oh my god, man. I'm trying to like, because when we talk about measuring women's happiness, it's all over the place. You can't when we talk about just women's happiness in general, it's all over the place. So that's not really what you're supposed to, because when women are chasing what they want to do, you end up with results like the community because they're chasing what they want. You know what I mean? They've decided that their opinion is more important than having the kid be near the kid at the most viable situation. You know what I mean? And when we talk about women initiating 80% of divorces is because they're not quote unquote happy. But has anybody ever asked, what if the dad's not happy? Do you think the dad loves working 80 plus 60 to 80 plus hours a week? Even the CEOs, do you think they love, do you think they're like, do you think they're happy? But no, they're just providing, doing what they think is going to give the kids the best option. And on top of that, to make sure their wife don't leave them. You know what I mean? Because they know if you without a job, you ain't gonna have no honey. You know what I mean? So nobody, it's like that's never an option. It's like, what about the dad's happiness? You know what I mean? Yeah, don't worry about it. He'll take it. But you see this mentality right here. You see, she says, if mama ain't happy, nobody is happy. And that's what really a lot of these pseudo scientists, they try to run off that indicator that basically it's only about the mom's happiness. And it's just like, bro, this is crazy. This is just somebody said, just throw the podcast mics away. These bitches be 40 talking about this stuff. If the mom's not happy, then nobody's happy.